Good morning and welcome. You just turn a little to the side and there we are. Here we are. I like this setup. We'll see how it works for us. I'm Leslie. I'm filling in for Rick and directing music today. He's not feeling well, so we'll all send our good juju and treatment his direction. So let's start out with, on this beautiful rainy day where we have more beautiful water to feed the plants and the trees for the coming summer. My soul is welcome here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Sunday morning. Does it feel earlier than usual to you? Just a little bit. I woke up this morning feeling undeniably springy. Even with this Northern California feeling fog outside, I know it's coming. It's around the corner. And we want to welcome you here to the Center for Spiritual Living, Salt Lake City. My name is Rob, and I am your service host this morning. And whether you're joining us here in person in the sanctuary or at home via our virtual live stream, we are thrilled to have you with us today. If you are joining us from home, please take a moment and type in a hello and let us know where you're joining us from. We love to know how far we're reaching every Sunday morning. This center is a spiritual community that teaches a philosophy of daily living based on spiritual practices that are really universal among all religions. We seek to know and connect with the divine, and we each work on our individual consciousness to help make this world a better place, a world that works for everyone. Our practitioner holding high watch today is Katie Hernandez. Am I right about that? Is it Katie or Teresa? Teresa. Hi, Teresa. And speaking of Teresa, if you have never attended one of our before service meditations, I really suggest that you should. It's a wonderful way of prepping your Sunday morning. And we are grateful for Teresa and that meditation. And in High Watch, she is holding us all in prayer during this time that we're here together, knowing the greatest and highest good is unfolding for each one of us. Wherever you're joining us from, I would like to invite you to recommit yourself to our center's spiritual purpose by repeating it with me, and it will appear on the screen. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Thank you. To learn more about what's going on here at the center, you can check us out online at www.spirituallyfree.org, or at least go to check out the great new page photo from the Christmas party that is really pretty fabulous. Today, Reverend Cindy's going to share her message with us entitled, Home is Where the Heart Is. And Bazeen's in the house. Yes, oh my God, we love it when these guys are here to entertain us and to share their talents with us. Oh my God. Adnan, Brian, and our very own Raj will be here. That's the man, will be here with us today, and we're so excited. If you are here for the very first time and you're willing, would you mind raising your hand so that we can acknowledge you and celebrate your being here with us? Oh, there are some. Hello. Yes. Thank you all for joining us. We know that you will experience something here today that will be a blessing in your life. If you have not, please do stop by the table in the atrium to pick up a welcome packet that has some more information about us, what we are, what we do, as well as a back issue of Science of Mind magazine, which is very, very fun. By way of announcements, I'd like to invite you back to the center this Wednesday to join Shanti for yoga, a sound bath, meditation, and a drum circle. That'll be at 7 o'clock here in the sanctuary, and there's more information available out on the table in the atrium. Next Sunday, we will have a special speaker, Reverend Verona Garland, and afterwards, Reverend Verona is going to present a workshop to us called Priming the Prosperity Pump, about living a more abundant life. So after service, stay for a delicious light lunch and then immerse yourself in this experience of infinite blessings that have been waiting for you to discover them. Our house band is going to be on an international stage in a week from tonight. 6 o'clock on Sunday next, they will be performing as part of the Sacred Evening of Music, Dance, and Prayer. This is going to take place at the historic Tabernacle downtown on Temple Square. 6 p.m. It is free to attend. There is free parking at the conference center, the big conference center, and then you can walk over. There will be an outstanding evening of music and fellowship with other faith traditions in our state and in a really beautiful historic building. So please consider joining us. Yes. On the 19th, but that is a week from today. Yes. Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock.
Yep, I think that adds up. Mm-hmm. At 6 o'clock. Then in 2 days from today will be our annual membership meeting. There will be 2 weeks. 2 days, yeah. Not Tuesday, not on Tuesday. The early morning is getting me after all. In 2 weeks from today, we will hold our annual meeting. This will include various reports on the status of our center, as well as matters that must be voted on by our membership, so everyone is invited. If you're joining us from home, this is a special invitation to you. In fact, you don't even need to change your clothes. Come on in. Everybody, wear your pajamas. If you're at home, wear your pajamas. Come on in, join us for the service, a light lunch, and then our annual meeting. And if you don't wear pajamas to bed, well, put some jammies on, and then come in for our Sunday gathering. And on that, our center is founded on and grounded in prayer. This helps us deal with whatever comes our way. Helps create a positive experience regardless of our situation or conditions. We have a team of professional prayer practitioners that have trained for years in the art and science of affirmative prayer. And they are here to pray with you and to pray for you. It's an amazing experience. Our treatments are really, really beautiful and full of power. If you would like to visit with one of our practitioners, you can do that in person right here in the sanctuary. You can recognize them by their purple stoles. You can also do it online by clicking through to leave a prayer request. You can also leave a prayer request on the table in the lobby. So, with all of that, I would like to invite you to take a deep breath and relax and allow Selena's reading and the centering music to take you to that sacred space within, and then Selena will lead us in prayer.
So our reading this morning is from Quiet Talks with the Master by Eva Bell Weber, page 17. Contacting myself. I have told you that in your being there is a throne where the I Am dwells. From that throne flows out all the life forces of your being and your existence. As those forces flow through you, I contact myself in my universe, thus producing a complete harmony both in the within and the without. Learn to kneel often before that throne and drink the power that reigns thereon. Thus shall my power become your power to use in all your daily activities. Only as you kneel before my throne, placing your human personality in entire subjection to my divine personality, can you be allowed to use my power. It must be used only under my direction. Carry this message with you through the day. Speak often to me. All that I have uttered shall be fulfilled, and every word you utter shall be potent with my power.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me, and I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, was already here, closer than the sunlight, and nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy. It is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer, thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that was singing everywhere, nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me, and I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted and all I ever needed was already here. Closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air.
With the gratitude of wholeness overflowing as I open my mind and my heart, the rich blessings that surround me. Every raindrop, every smiling face, this beautiful time of change, the seasons coming and going with every breeze. I recognize that divine presence within all of it, expressing as divine right action, love, strength, compassion, and always wholeness. And knowing this truth of the divine, I know that I am part and parcel of that one, just as I know this same truth for each person in this room and joining us, for all of creation. For there is only one, and each of us are expressions of that one, this day and always. So I bless this service to follow. Every musician, Reverend Cindy's beautiful voice, each person joining us, each person within the reach of my voice is blessed and whole in this moment and always. So I just release this word. It's spoken. As together we say, and so it is.
It's time for our community song, yes? So you can sing along with us. Where in the world would you find in a single week squall, whiteout blizzard, pouring rain, cloudy, and sunshine? Are we blessed or what? To be awakened in the middle of the night, in the middle of the squall where it's blowing so hard that the snowflakes are waking me up hitting the window. I don't know if anyone else experienced that. The God in me beholds the God in you.
Here we go. The God in me beholds the God in you. The God in me beholds the God in you. Nice job. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce our special music today, our very own Raj. I affectionately call him the Wizard of Raj, and this is the Raj Mahal. It's the domain of Raj, and he's brought his buddies. Raj Mahal, yeah. He's brought his buddies, and watch out, I didn't bring my belly dancing skirt, but if I had, these guys will get you up and dancing. Enjoy. Bazeen.
Wow, we needed that to wake up. Bazeen, thank you. Thank you. Raj, I didn't know this about you. Definitely needed that to shake off that hour that we lost. But we're springing ahead, right? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes. I do feel the change in the air. I'm noticing that the snow still comes, but it melts right away. I'm happy about that. And this month we're talking about coming home. And today my talk is titled, Home is Where the Heart Is. Before I dig into that subject, I want to talk about Women's History Month. And that each week I will be giving you quotes from women in history that have made profound changes on this earth. Today, this quote that I have is from Malala Yousafzai. She is a Pakistani female education activist, and she won the Nobel Peace Prize laureate in 2014. I'm sure a lot of you know about her. Her quote is, I raise my voice not so I can shout, but so that those can be heard. We cannot succeed when half of us are held back. Very powerful. The other thing that we're still doing is the season of nonviolence. And today, the lesson for the season of nonviolence is accountability. Today, take responsibility for how you contribute to a conflict and make a different choice that can lead to a peaceful resolution. I especially know this in a community such as ours, that if we all take our own responsibility and talk directly to the person that we're having a conflict with, it makes such a profound difference. And now on to Home is Where the Heart Is. I counted how many times I've moved in my life. 18. Yeah. Some of them were just local moves, and some of them were different states. And here's the thing. My astrological sign is Cancer the Crab. I love my shell. I love my environment. It's very important to me. So what happens to this kid that has always been uprooted from my nest? This is what I noticed. When I backpacked in Europe, when I was gone for a total of 6 months, and I had this big backpack. Actually, to be honest, I took too many things with me, and I had to mail some things back home because I realized that was going to be a real burden to carry all that on my back. But whenever I got to a place, and I'd stay somewhere anywhere from one night to, I was in Israel for about 3 months. Wherever I went, this is what I did. And you might recognize yourself in this, and you might be opposite of this. When I get somewhere, what do? I unpack. If there's drawers, I put stuff away. All the little drawings that I did along my travels, I'd put them on the walls. I'd make it my nest. To me, it felt like that made it home. But I've learned something with all this moving. That it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I had my pictures up, if I had everything in its perfect place. What matters was, did I feel at home in my heart? Because I can be anywhere. I could be sleeping in an airport. or on a train ride, and I could feel at home. That was the most important thing to me. There's different times in my life that I haven't felt that. Usually those times in my life were when I was going through profound losses. Not just of people, but of jobs, of friends, of situations. Whenever those things would occur, I would notice, hang on a minute, I don't feel at home in my heart. I feel displaced. And I'm not saying that grief always does that to a person, because for some people, profound emotions can actually take you home right to the heart. But depending on what was going on in my life, it was very important to me to come home. So, Pema Chodron. I saw that you quoted something from Pema Chodron, Delanne. She says in her book, she's the author of Comfortable with Uncertainty. Sticking with that uncertainty, getting the knack of relaxing into the midst of chaos, learning not to panic. This is the spiritual path. I'm going to say it once again. Sticking with that uncertainty, getting the knack of relaxing in the midst of chaos, learning not to panic. This is the spiritual path. So, wow, did I have a lot of opportunities to practice my spiritual path with my 18 times of moving in my life. See, there is really nothing that is certain. And I know for those of us in this room that are more mature in our age, that we know this. So when my niece came to me, and I have triplet niece and nephews. They're turning 30 on St. Patty's Day. Yeah. When my niece and her new husband came to me and told me about their plan, their master plan of traveling and then when they were going to have a baby and all these things, I just looked at them and said, that's great. That's wonderful. I knew that life isn't that simple. You can't always lay out this road. There's all kinds of twists and turns and things that happen. It doesn't mean that you can't have a great, grand life with happiness and love. And we get to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. We get to be comfortable with the uncertainty. So I'll give you some examples of what it looks like to not be feeling at home in your heart or in my heart. For me, when I moved so much, what would happen is I would look outside of myself to find approval. I would look outside of myself to find love. When you're always the new kid on the block, it was tough. When I'm moving through this life and I'm hoping, expecting someone to acknowledge me for what I've done, it just doesn't come that way. It took me a long time to realize that I get to do and be that for myself. I know there's a lot of people in this room that can probably relate to that. So I know if I'm thinking, wow, I did whatever I did and the person didn't say thank you or anything, I'm not at home in my heart. When I know that it's time for me to step up and do something for someone, if I'm doing it out of the expectation that I'm going to get an acknowledgement in return, then I'm not coming from that place in my heart that is home. Period. Through the years of being at different spiritual centers, I've had people approach me and tell me, oh, I so want to be a practitioner. And I said, great. Tell me more about that. And if I could dig down and find out that the reason they wanted to do it is because they wanted the acknowledgement, they wanted the love that comes your way when you're a practitioner and you're holding the community in prayer, because they wanted to be seen, then I knew that there was work to do for that person. I have to stop and notice where I'm coming from consistently. I can tell you I've come a long way over the years because I was that new kid and I wanted to be noticed. I wanted to have friends. I wanted to belong. So it's been my opportunity to be on this path, to give that belonging, give that love, give that acknowledgement to myself. The other thing about when I know I'm not at home in my heart is when I say yes, but I really meant to say no. Or I say no, but I really wanted to say yes. It goes both ways, folks. So I believe that it's okay to take a minute and take a beat and not answer someone immediately. Say, let me sit with that, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. That's perfectly okay. And also, no is a complete sentence. One evening I was at a event and Reverend Dr. Michael was there. And he made a profound difference in my life because he helped me understand how important a no is. And what he told me was that he was a young minister and there was a young man in his congregation that wanted to help him with his car. He drove a hoopty. Hoopty. Do you know what a hoopty is? It's an old car that you, in your mind, might call a classic, but the truth is it's just an old car. Drew might know something about that. Anyway, so he had this hoopty, and he was always having problems with it. And this young man said, I know how to fix your car. I can do that for you. And something inside him said no, but he was a young minister, and he didn't want to alienate this young man. And he said, okay. And the young man said, I just need to get this one part that I know is going to fix this. This young man went to an auto parts store and broke in. And he got killed. He got shot. And Reverend Michael said, I'll never say yes when it's a no again. We all don't need to go through that lesson. We can learn from him. But in that moment when he told that story, I said, oh my gosh. Those times that I've said yes when it was a no, or no when it was a yes, I am not doing that anymore. So, Like I said, I used to think when I was younger, home was really having everything in place, in its place, in a drawer. My environment was beautiful. I had my pictures up. But as a spiritual seeker, and I know we're all spiritual seekers in this room, it's nothing about those physical representations. It's about being at home in my heart, being authentic, showing up in my truth. I am always home. That is the truth. And through all my losses, divorce, unexpected changes, circumstances, I get to practice what Pema Chodron said. And that is, I get to lean into it instead of pushing it away. And I know that I am always the home of God in my heart. Now, how do you get home if you're feeling like, oh, I'm not really at home. I'm making these decisions that aren't really my authentic self. What do I do? What do I do? How do I do this? So if you come here every week, you've heard it, and you'll hear it week after week after week. Here's a punch list, but there's much more. Last week I talked about coming home through the breath. That's number one. Something's going on and you're in your head and you're concerned. Take a moment and just breathe consciously, slowly. Check in with your body. Our gut has its own brain, you guys. What is mine to do? Your body can always tell you. If it's not for you to do, you might notice a resistance, a pain, I don't know, a tummy ache, a headache, something going on. Pay attention to those things. I know that many of us, including myself in my younger years, I operated from the shoulders up. I want to involve all of this, this energetic being that I am, all of this. Allowing yourself to sit with whatever's going on with you instead of pushing it away. Are we taught that when we're younger? No. Like, I remember so many times my parents saying, "Don't cry." Well, I really needed to cry. I was sad, or whatever I was. If you can just take time, and I'm not talking about building a condo in your sadness and living there forever. I'm talking about letting yourself have it, whatever it is. It's so important. Another thing that gets me from wherever I'm at, if I'm in my head, I'm in my worry, to my heart, is music. It has this instant effect of just taking me out of here and bringing me here. So what do I listen to? I want to listen to things that are always upbeat and remind me of who I am. Well, I guess a little Led Zeppelin can get me there sometimes still. Yeah, right? But truly, music is a game changer. Dancing and movement. Get up and shake it off. Move around. That can get me right into my body, into my heart. Another thing is being in nature. Now, I haven't done that since I've been here in Utah. Being such a snow virgin, when it's been super cold, I just haven't wanted to leave my nest. But I'm already noticing the changes, and I'm so excited to go hiking and be out in this beautiful place. And it always brings me back to my heart. In the past, it's been the ocean. So now I get to go to the mountains. One of my favorite things, too, is just watching a sunset. In fact, whenever my wife and I go on vacation, it's on our to-do list every night to go find the best vantage point to watch the sunset. One time we were in Maui, and we parked somewhere, and we were following the sunset, and we ended up walking like 3 miles because things were obstructing the view of the sunset, and we just kept going and going and going. It was a fabulous night. And of course, you know our other spiritual practices that keep you in your heart. Meditation, prayer. It can be as simple as thank you, gratitude, being in service. All of those things bring us to our heart. Generosity. Being in community with others that see who you are as the spiritual beings of light and love that we are. So like most of us, I have challenges on a daily basis. I focus not on making those challenges go away or disappear. I focus on maintaining my life in my heart. Being with those things that are happening instead of wishing them away. Because that's where the gifts are. That's where your spiritual path is. When I do this, my road, with all its twists and turns, becomes my opportunity to be the most expanded version of myself. Because I know home is where the heart is. Let's pray. And as we just take in a breath together, breathe in slowly, deeply, and hold it at the top. And exhale slowly. It's with great gratitude. I start this prayer with gratitude because it takes me straight to my heart. Grateful for this beloved community. Grateful for our music ministry that brings me to my heart. Grateful for every beloved in this room that comes and shares their heart with each other. And infinitely grateful for this practice, for this philosophy, for science of mind, for Ernest Holmes and Troward and Emerson and Hopkins and Eddie and all of those amazing mystics that bring us to this very day, that have shared their wisdom in such a profound way that it's still and always going to be changing lives as we keep learning and growing and practicing these spiritual practices together. And I am grateful to know that there is only one power, one presence, one love. It doesn't matter what you call it. God, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, Hashem, Lord, Creator, Infinite Mind, the Grand Matrix, Energy, Love, the Force. So many names and so many faces, and yet only one power, one presence that's everywhere. It's in those buds that are blooming underneath the snow that are popping up. It's in every raindrop, in every tree, in every beautiful mountain range that I see. It's also in those places that I can't see with the naked eye, but they're there. The stars, the universes, the nebula, the depth of the ocean, in every creature, every animal, every sentient being. See, there's no place that God is not. It's everywhere, everything, all the time. And I know this. I know this for myself, that I'm one and the same as the one I am, the I am. I am the being that gets to experience itself through my hands, through my voice, through my feet, through all that I do and all that I am and all that I have and all that I share. And I know the same truth for each and every beautiful soul within earshot of my voice. Whether now or listening to the recording later, you are the I am that I am. You are power, presence, love, light. God, Goddess, experience it itself through your life 100% of the time. So knowing that, I claim and I know for this beloved community that we are truly always at home in our heart. That we are remembering and knowing the love that we are, and we share it with all that we meet. We share it in the world. We share it with our families. We share it with our loved ones. Anyone that comes in contact with us gets loved, gets kindness, gets compassion, because that's who and what we are and what we are doing here. And I know this for my beloved family, brothers and sisters of our trans family that are fighting the fight right now in different states. I know this for our beloved spiritual beings living this human existence in those war-torn states and countries, that we hold the flame of peace for them always. And I know this for my beloveds in this room that might not be feeling 100%. They might have a diagnosis, a challenge, a physical challenge, an emotional challenge. I know for each and every beloved that you are one and the same with the one. Never broken, never less than, but always a fully orbed, immaculate, vibrant being of light that gets to share your light with all you come in contact with. So right now I'm leaving a space and a place for you to say your name out loud and say the names of whoever in your life needs prayer today. you're at home, join us. Say it out loud. If you're in this room, you can say it out loud in a whisper. Cindy. Brad. Madeline. Karen. Michael. Anna. Ross. Melvin. Kimberly. All those that I pray for. And I claim and know for those names that were uttered that prayer is my prayer too. That prayer is our prayer too. We've planted these prayer seeds deep within the soil, and Mother Nature is always doing what she's doing, giving nutrients to the soil, rain. So they are planted in soil that is fertilized and ready to grow and outpicture answered prayers in the most profound ways that we might not even recognize it. So I am grateful. I am thankful for answered prayer, because I know in this prayer vortex, in this quantum field, there is no waiting and hoping. It's done now as we have prayed. It is done now as we have spoken. It is done now. Answered prayer is done now. So I release this time we've spent together into the law, those spiritual laws that we study, those spiritual laws that we know work 24/7, 365. It is released. The law has taken them. The universe says, yes, my beloved, this and so much more. And please anchor this prayer by saying with me, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. My beloveds. How do you like the room this way? Yeah, like it? Okay. So we're trying different things. It's not written in stone. We're just trying to utilize the space the best we can. So bear with us as we try out different orientations. And it's that time that our ushers are going to come around with their baskets. But before they come, I want to say thank you. First and foremost, thank you for those that contribute consistently. Thank you. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And for those of you that can stretch your budget and help us, we have plans. We have plans for a possible bigger space downstairs for the kids, for a classroom, for a yoga room, for things like that. So if you can stretch yourself, I'm looking for 10 people, actually. I'm looking for 10 people that can stretch themselves by $130 a month. That would do it. We can have that bigger space downstairs. But I am not saying that we can't do it if there's not 10 people in this room, because I know there's always a way. Right? I know that our resources are unlimited. We have unlimited potential. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So as the ushers pass the baskets around, we'll have our song, You Are So Blessed. We are so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, thank you. So we're going to bless these offerings. So I ask that you imagine your heart being pulled through your hands as you point them toward these baskets as we bless these promissory notes. And repeat after me. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I give from the overflow.
I give from the overflow.
With gratitude. With love. I know this financial giving goes out into the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you so much. And we have
Bazeen.
Bazeen back.
Please
Yes.
welcome Bazeen.
Raj gets to multitask.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? Did that not just clear the space so beautifully for this beautiful vibe? Oh, I love that. Yes, it made it, we're now in a place of holy ground. Thank you, Reverend Cindy. Wasn't that just, just kind of bring you up to hear that and be reminded of those things. Thank you so much. So let's sing our closing song. We stand on holy ground.
Holy, holy, holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Love and light and joy abound. We are standing on holy ground. Holy, holy, holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Love and light and joy abound. We are standing on holy ground. Holy, holy, holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Love and light and joy abound. We are standing on holy ground. Holy, holy, holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Love and light and joy abound. We are standing on holy ground. Holy, holy, holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Love and light and joy abound. We are standing